Drink! Drink! Drink!
Oh, harder, Daddy.
Does it feel good?
Ah.
Watch your profanity.
Welcome in, welcome in. So as you can see, today we are playing Dungeons and Dragons. So this stream is going to be a little bit different than our normal stream. I will not be as interactive with chat as I normally am. You can also see we have a PNG set up today instead of our normal model. Hi Nye, hi Blades, hi Random. Y'all are fucking cute. Deal with it. I know, but this is it. This is my D&D character. This is not the actual fiche. It's a different version of the fiche. Technically, I am a sea elf in this campaign. But yeah, we're gonna be playing a campaign. I won't be as interactive with chat vocally. I'll still be typing in chat and stuff like that, but I'm going to be focusing on the campaign and allowing the others to speak. Just a heads up. I do need to set one thing up real quick though, so hang on. Let me get Druid in here. Meow. Okay. And then cut it in. Cut it in. Okay, there we go. And then boom. Okay, looks like we've got everybody in place. Correct, Blades. You're cute. Random, accept it. Also, hi, Eli. Mwah. This the multiverse? Kind of. Kind of. My character is really interesting. I think you guys are gonna like them, but we'll find out. Everybody's characters are really interesting. So I have high hopes. I am going to go ahead and unmute in Discord, which means I'm going to fall silent. I love you guys. We will be returning to normal content. This is like Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, same as normal. Just Saturdays are going to be D&D now, and that's when these types of streams are going to be happening. So just a heads up. But yeah, I love you all. And I hope you're as excited as I am. I'm really freaking excited about this campaign. So let's freaking go! No, Random, you. And mwah. Okay, I am back.
You always have to be.
Okay. Is
This is
everyone
nothing new.
ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So, to start, we're going to go over a few homebrew rules for my campaign. These are things that are not going to be like regular D&D, obviously. They're just things that I like having in my campaign. First off, death saves, those are going to be completely private. You are allowed to do those with your own personal dice, and those will go in your personal channels in our Discord, or you can do them as a GM only, a role that only I can see through our Roll20 D&D Beyond connection. The rest of the party is not allowed to see those. Only you and me. Second, critical succeed rolls. How this works is if you critically succeed, for some rolls it's a 19, 20. Mostly it's only 20s. How this works is you automatically take max damage and then roll damage to add on that. Example, you get a nat 20 and roll 2d4 plus 4. Automatically, that's 12 plus another 2d4 is how that's going to work. And then finally, our rule of cool. If you can convince me that another ability check for your character fits better than the one I asked you for, be through backstory, or fitting your character archetype more, I will let you, and if you convince me well enough, maybe you'll get advantage. Inspiration. Inspiration can only be achieved through roleplay. You cannot get inspiration by doing something really cool in combat unless you roleplay that cool stuff out. So be sure to get your hands really dirty and deep into that roleplay, because this is a roleplay game. So yeah, how about we introduce our players and characters from the top, starting with Druid.
Hello, I'm Initiate Druid. I think I'll just be on by Druid for short. I'm playing Nuram Tabravis, the Githzerai fighter.
Keldor.
Hi, my name's Keldor, and I'll be playing Ace Oliver Spade. Not much is known about him other than he is a human that has some extraordinary abilities.
Mikey. Mikey.
Mikey went pee. I don't know.
Shit.
Mikey.
Hello?
Mikey,
Hello? Okay,
introduce
there-
yourself
We
and
have
your
a mic.
Okay, my mic was died. Okay, hello,
use a
my name is Mike. My mic died in the middle. I was talking. Apparently, no one heard me. Okay, so my name is Mikey. I am playing half orc named Drax Ryman. I am the what was it? A king's
You're
like
one of the main helmsmen to the king.
yeah, the helmsman.
No.
Oh, hi. My name is Snow. I am playing Kin, the Simic bard. I tote a single-stringed viol in hand, and yeah, we'll find out more about him together.
Yeah. Storybook.
Hi, I am Storybook Tales. I am playing Iris Evergarden, who is just the cutest little southern barbarian you ever seen.
Alright. And finally, but not least, Kai.
Hello, my name is Yippee but I go by Kai. I will be playing Owen, who is a sea elf rogue that may or may not have a semi-traditional rogue backstory. You'll have to find out.
Alright. So, into this session we go. We're gonna start by learning about the world we're in. We're in a country called Isandr, with mountains over to the west bordering against another country and the sea on all other sides. The politics are really tense right now, with the most recent king having just died and a new heir having been found to the throne, and his grandson, who had been living in a very poor shire, quite far away from the capital. There's many large cities in Isandr, with each city having 3 major houses, one for politics, one for the economy, and one for the military. And each city is responsible for catering to all the shires and smaller towns around them with those 3 houses. And then finally, we pan into the central city of Odessa. Tomorrow is the king's coronation, but first, everyone must get through the night. And this is where we're going to go to Iris. Iris, last night you arrived into Odessa, going into a beautifully ornate and expensive inn and laying down for the night. And as you fall asleep, you find yourself in a bit of a dream that is quite unusual to maybe the normal ones that you had as a kid or have now. It feels way too real. Around you is it's the Feywild is the best way to describe it. With blooming and chaotic magic all around you. And as you move deeper into the stream, it shifts into shattered mirrors, where certain shards show what you know as your true self. And in these true self images that you see in the simple shards, there's spider webs seemingly entangling your true self as you know it. How do you go through your dream?
Well, kind of avert my eyes from the mirror shards for a minute. Then of course curiosity gets the best of me, and I step forward and very cautiously look into one of them a little closer to see if I can figure out where the spider webs are coming from.
Alright. As you get closer to one of these shattered mirrors, it's a full body mirror. So you're looking at yourself, except certain pieces show your true self in the form that most people know you by. And as you get closer, they start to kind of interconnect and mesh together until it looks as if the spider webs are all around you yourself. And it almost feels as if you can feel those spider webs on you, actually. Do you get any closer to the mirror?
I kind of shudder and like rub my arms a little bit. You know how you walk through a spider web and you're immediately
Yeah.
trying to get it all off you. Um, And I'm gonna take a deep breath and step forward once again. Curiosity getting the best of me.
All right. And now we're going to switch into a much more chaotic plane. Nurum, you recognize your monastery, where you come from in the plane of chaos. Except it feels wrong. You can hear the panic around you as it seems that this psychic bubble that your monastery lives in is no longer protecting your monastery. And you can hear the laughter of creatures you have long interacted with infesting your monastery. How do you traverse your dream or nightmare?
Nurom, reacting immediately to the chaos, looks for people in danger, and if no one is directly in sight, he moves to find, sources of noise, particularly screaming, people who need that protection.
All right. Going down a simple bend in one of the halls, you also notice a mirror. It's not shattered, but you see a creature, skin toned, a palish purple, and eight eyes adorning their cheek, and two sets of arms pressed against the seemingly other side of this mirror. All the sound that you're hearing is coming from this one creature as they stare at you and just laugh at you, beckoning you forward.
Nurom is going to take 3 steps towards the mirror before unfurling the silver glaive from his back and piercing the mirror in front of him, shattering it instantly.
Alrighty.
You will fight me, demon.
Alright, as the glass shatters and spreads around you, your vision goes dark. And once again, we move to an entirely different dream. There's murals on the wall depicting an ancient conflict between two gods and a people who no longer worship them. Snow, that is how you find yourself dreaming tonight. You see murals before you of the sun and moon god going against the people known as Dusk Elves, and how they had been pulled away from the gods they originally worshipped, and being pulled by other creatures into another plane of seemingly chaotic magic. How do you traverse your dream?
Staring up at the or over at the murals, doing my best not to look at them too terribly closely, trying to find a path forward that gets me away from these depictions.
Alright. As you traverse forward through this mindscape of yours, you continue down, and the mural just goes seemingly in chronological order of what you know of this depicted war, until it gets to the end, and it's the outcast of these said Dusk Elves that you yourself descend from. But instead of a mural that you've seen before, you see the two gods instead looking towards you, both with their hands outstretched in the mural. Typically, this mural is depicted with their backs to the Dusk Elves.
I can't help but look at them, but ultimately, I don't need you. I deny you. Fuck off.
The plane starts to rumble a bit. And the mural cracks like glass, shattering to the ground. Like glass. And as that happens, it goes dark for you as well. Now we're in a mansion. It's dimly lit, and there's a faint music of a calliope organ in the distance. Kai, this is where you find yourself dreaming, running through a familiar layout of a dime a dozen mansion that you've been in. You've been in many of mansions like this. It's similar to many of the nobles that you've interacted with. How do you traverse your dream?
Owen would very carefully look around, trying to find if there are any valuables while attempting to stay out of sight.
Alrighty. So, moving through the dimly lit halls, relying on a sense of familiarity that you have, you come across a table with an ornate looking necklace. It looks like a little bat with a very fine ruby in the center of its chest, with the wings wrapped around cradling this ruby gently. The ruby kind of glimmers a bit when you come closer. It's set right in front of a little hand mirror with ornate gold encasing it.
Owen slowly steps forward and leans down ever so slightly to look at the things while also checking for any obvious traps of any sort that might prohibit them from taking such beautiful items.
You've done this many times before. You know how to check for these traps. This table it doesn't seem to have anything on it. No small platforms that these are rested on that might, click something into place when they're lifted. There's no strings attached to them. They're just laying there as if whichever noble is these belong to just really is not phased.
Owen carefully picks up the item with the ruby in it, gently running their fingers over like the wings that encase it, admiring it at how like beautiful and stunning this piece is.
Right. It comes to life in your hand. The ruby starting to glow a lot more. And the mirror right in front of you. Now, this one, much like many of the other dreams we've already witnessed, when the light starts to cascade to near blinding, the mirror shatters with a blinding noise that kind of makes your ears ring. And now, it quickly shifts away. We're now in the woods. There's a lot of noise around, rustling. Keldor, you find yourself in a clearing facing 3 different creatures. Creatures that you've seen yourself turn into. All of them facing you with these clear, terrifying ruby red eyes. Staring you down. They look like hungry, savage creatures. A bear, a massive rat. I don't remember the other thing you turned into, but wait, I can look this up. What are the 3 things you turned into again?
The third was undecided. But one is like a rat, one is like an ogre, the other we haven't really settled on.
Alright. Well, you come across these 3 beasts. They're facing you down but they don't move. They only stand there and snarl at you. Their guttural growls are like rumbling through your very being. Sounds that you've heard yourself utter when you've let these beasts take over you. How do you, Ace Oliver Spade, traverse your dream?
I don't move. I stare at each of them and I ask aloud. I say aloud, I've never been able to talk to any of you before. Can you answer some questions for me?
The first to kind of move was the rat. It moves forward and lowers itself to the ground. It has a very weak, scared, and fearful voice as it starts to tremble looking up at you. Just all answers that you seek, we cannot answer. You must find it in your own reflection, is what they say. And they all start to push forward a bit, stepping each forward about 5 paces. Now, only about 5 feet between you and 3 creatures. Now,
I stand my ground and I look at them and I'm like, please answer. Why are you here? Why are you doing this to me?
the ogre beast type creature steps forward. It puts its hand against your chest. You've felt this beast touch before. Not like this, as a sickening, deep rage. It pushes forward, kind of forcing you to step back. You feel behind your feet. You didn't notice this before. Was a small little pond of crystal clear water. You push again. Again, we cannot answer that. Only you can. And it gives you a harsher shove, forcing you backwards into the water. And you sink down into this crystal clear water. And it goes dark. And then, suddenly it's bright again. And then escape once again. One last time. Finally, it's beautifully ornate and marble walls all around. Mikey, your dreams, as of late, have been quite monotonous. No matter where you are, in your mind, in your dreams, or even awake, you simply cannot escape the palace walls. But they're different right now. It's warm. Way too warm. All around you, it's bright. There's fire. And down the hall, you can see a familiar door emblazoned in red. The king's personal chambers is of light. And you can hear the dragon that serves as a symbol of the strength of the king is roaring. You can't tell if it's rage or pain, but all you can hear is it roaring, and all you can see is fire burning down this palace that you have come to know as almost a home. How do you traverse this dream?
Um, do I, can I step forward and see if I could, open the door?
Right. So coming up to the door, it's very warm. It burns. And like a dream, not that you know you're dreaming, really, has never really burned like this. Fire has never burned like this. It's not a physically hurts. As you put your hands against the door to try and push it open, it pushes up your arm in a. It doesn't burn your skin. It feels like it burns through your veins. Do you continue?
First, I let go of the door and back away before I continue.
You're gonna try and open it again?
Yeah,
Alright,
I try to open again the door.
alright. Do you do it any differently this time instead of just pushing? Or do you continue to just try and push it open?
I would forcefully
Alright,
ram through the door.
alright. So you step back and brace yourself a bit before making sure the pauldron on your shoulder, I don't know if it's actually called a pauldron, I don't know what your shoulder of your armor, you make sure it's in place and like push forward to try and slam the door open, the door falling to pieces, and you enter into blackness, and there's clouds all around, and as you look around, you see these various beings kind of falling through various windows of glass all around. You're starting to see the other people who are escaping these dreams they've been put into and stepping through shattered glass. And now you all see each other. Each various beings of various lives and lifestyles, all convening in this one beautiful plane of clouds, and it feels like a very warm but odd magic all around you. Before all of you, as you all convene in this one plane of clouds and dream, you see a young man. He has dark skin with golden freckles along all of his visible skin. He has very dark curly hair with a single white tuft of hair at his bane. He wears thick black robes that become part of the clouds all around. A weirder thing, he has 4 eyes, all golden, and his form faintly shifts depending on who he's looking at. He looks around at all of you, and he's just like, he takes a moment, pausing on each of you to size you up a bit. He lets out a small, a bit of a displeased sound, and he's like, destined to meet, fated, some might say, says in a bit of an annoyed tone, "Night nor day is not your friend. The light, the dark, the fear, the courage, it runs through all of you and all of your world. The coronation each year, going by like a day, then another. The fates bend and weave despite this world's outcome. Predestined, they will try to end the one at the epicenter. The monsters, the races, the species, the creatures, the gods, the fiends, they all fight in hopes it ends. And they all look at you." He motions to all 6 of you. He kind of rolls his eyes in a "why am I put in this position" type of teenager dramatics. Look around at each other. This is all of your new beginning. And then the world starts to go dark again. And you guys find yourself waking up. It is the morning of the ceremony. At different temples where some of you may be staying, like the Temple of Sarita, where Keldor, you have been homed quite recently. They all start waking up, many of them doing their morning routines of training. Some of them are moving to prepare this morning's breakfast, and a lot more of them are preparing for today's ceremony. How does waking up from a quite vivid dream look for you?
Did you ask
Which of
that to a
us?
specific person?
Yeah.
I said I said Keldor.
Oh, okay. I was just making sure it was actually me.
I was like, Keldor?
I wake up in kind of like a flop sweat, and I look around to make sure I was where I was when I fell asleep. But
Right.
it feels like I'm not in my bed anymore.
You're correct. You rolled off. You're on the ground. You kind of rolled off your bed. The person who sleeps in the bed next to you, they look down at you. They're like, "You were tossing and turning all night. You might want to get that checked out and go back to doing whatever the fuck they were doing."
I climb back into bed and just kind of lay back and think about what every version of myself had said to me.
All right. As time passes and you sit there meditating, soon many people are returning to the bunks where you are staying. Many of them are getting dressed, and your kind of bunkmate walks over and they hold out a bit of a nice outfit, just a simple tunic, some pants without holes in them, and a nice pair of simple leather shoes. And they just hold it out to you and they're like, "Here. We're all attending the ceremony, and we figured if you're going, you would want something nice to wear." And they hold it out, and they place a little roll of bread on top of it, since since we noticed you weren't at breakfast this morning. And they set it down next to you in the bed.
I offer my thanks to them, and I immediately lunge at the bread.
All right. In a different temple, but quite similar to Sarita's, we enter the monastery of Helios, the god of protection. Druid, since you came from your home, you ended up here at a monastery quite similar to your own, where people practice great meditation and work for protection. Many of the people here are typically They typically work around being kind of the guards of this capital. Most people here are enlisted by the military house as well. How does waking up look for you?
I like to imagine that Nuram, whilst sleeping, doesn't like move. Like he's so straight edge, he just sleeps flat on his back, facing the ceiling. So being awoken like this is actually something that's rather startling to him. This kind of sudden waking from a dream, especially considering the symbolism in the dream. He wakes with a bit of a jump and immediately hops out of bed and starts reaching for a weapon that isn't there because he doesn't wear his weapons to bed. Before like calming down and reassessing, recentering himself.
Alrighty. Alrighty. You're as you're like recentering yourself, into your point of view comes the sound and bustle of the world around you. Previously, it had been kind of silent, but now you can hear many people moving around, working. You can hear the man who first welcomed you into the monastery. A tall, broad man with fiery red hair and freckles across any skin that he shows. He's absolutely covered in. And a bright green gaze. He had introduced himself to you as Fenris. He walks over and he, seeing your kind of startled state, he like puts his hands up and is like, "Are you okay? Did someone startle you? Good." He seems very wary. Not sure if him getting too close will cause you to kind of get a bit defensive, which, in all honesty, he can't blame you.
Nuram is going to like turn to him and relax his posture before saying, "My apologies. I am racked with prophetic dreams. They rouse me from sleep occasionally. I will be returning to slumber in a few minutes."
Oh,
Before he notices that it's bright outside and he might as well get to work with the day.
oh, it's already sunrise. It's actually about an hour past sunrise now. Didn't want to like mess with you while you were sleeping. You seemed like you were enjoying your sleep. We all know how prophetic dreams can get, right? And he like medieval finger guns, basically. I don't know what medieval finger guns means, but he just like kind of finger guns. Um,
You
he's a
experience prophecy as well. Nuram completely cuts him off.
uh, one could say that. I guess I am the high priest of, well, yeah, I'm the high priest of the Church of Heliolus. I kind of speak for the god, you know. Fun times.
I
The
understand.
Lorax.
I
Speak
understand.
for the trees.
I
Yes.
hope that we can discuss this further once I am done with my morning chores.
Yes. Um, chores don't really need to be done much this morning. We made sure we got a lot of stuff done last night, as the king's ceremony is this morning. If you
Then I will
did it.
find a way to assist.
I guess all we're looking for is we're helping make sure everyone is getting to the ceremony safely, and so we're escorting a lot of the nobles today, as we have every house from every large city. So, and we have been told to keep an eye on Lidner's, my nobles, and the nobles of Calorin. So, yeah, apparently their kids get really flighty. So that'll be fun. like chasing dogs in the forest.
You say flighty. I was unaware people in this city had capacity to fly.
It means they. Sure. Yeah, so we'll just need help with that.
Understood. I will keep them grounded.
Alrighty then. He kind of like steps back and just like, I'm gonna go get ready. I gotta go find my clothes and stuff. Yeah, and he like waves and he like shuffles away really fast.
Nuram gives a bow as he leaves.
Yeah, he like seems incredibly awkward when talking and stuff. In a different tavern, we come upon Snow. What is it like for you when you wake
Hang
up?
on.
And
Snow's panicking and he just ran by saying he had to go to the restroom.
oh no! We'll do Kai. Kai, how does waking up look for you?
Upon waking from that specific dream, Owen
Oh.
would like sit up in bed, and they're, without even realizing, in one hand they're clutching a dagger, and then the other is up at their chest, grasping a necklace that they wear, holding onto it tightly as their eyes kind of dart around the room. And their chest is like heaving.
Sorry, the medieval finger guns sending me.
Oh my god.
But you said medieval. I found you an example. There's so many actually.
Are there really that many examples of mid?
Just
I'm
look it up,
saving
there's
that. I'm
so many.
saving that.
Wait. So, where did you end up staying last night when you eventually fell asleep?
Owen would have likely found their way into some sort of barn or stable and curled up in a corner with some hay quietly in the dark, out of the sight of prying eyes. So that, one, a place to sleep, and two, if the animals were disturbed, they would know if anyone was coming.
Alrighty. So, waking up it's odd. You typically are up about sunrise when the crows are first, not the crows, when the roosters are first, sending off their alarm that, hey, the sun is rising. Somehow you've slept well past that. So it's a bit of a late start. And there's people working towards the entrance of the barn, but not many have come in, as all the animals are out of the barn right now. Do you rustle a bit or any at all when you first wake up?
Owen would be as silent as possible. In fact, they actually wear a little bell on their person to keep quiet, which is a nod to thieving lessons if anybody catches that. So like if that bell even tinkles, they know that they're moving the wrong way, so they do everything in their power to remain as quiet as possible as they shift and like move about, especially in a public place.
Alrighty. So waking up and getting a bearing of your surroundings and all around you, it's
Hi, darling.
Someone has been in
a
my
bit
room
surreal.
and taken my beers away from
You don't
my
really
room.
understand
I
the
don't
meaning of
think
the
so,
dream you
darling.
just had. And it was incredibly vivid for you as well. Now you have the issue of you need to get out of this barn before the workers come in. How do you go about that?
Owen, having likely placed themselves within reach of an exit, would stealth their way out.
Alright, go ahead and roll me a stealth.
First roll of the campaign, let's go.
First roll of the campaign goes to Kai!
That is a 16.
Alright, yeah. You slip over the windowsill of one of the barn windows, sliding out and into the fields towards the city, where you tend to make kind of the most of your living of thievery and street urchinry. I don't know how to say it.
I believe the term is
Street rat.
skullduggery.
Skullduggery! There we go!
I don't buy that.
Alright. So, sneaking um into the city, you're aware that there are a lot of nobles here today. There are going to be tons of people in the town center. Already, there's a lot more people than you're used to seeing in the town center. Some circling around the stage that's been set up there, some kind of like looking at the cushions that they could never afford to touch. Um, there's just a lot of hustle and bustle this morning, a lot more than you're used to, actually.
Owen would keep to the edges of the crowd, their eyes constantly scanning, though, because knowing that this particular event was coming up, they'd be eager to see what was within their grasp, so to say. They, upon getting out of the barn, though, they would also be looking up at the sky to kind of get a gauge to see when or how much time they had before this particular event started.
Alright, so it's about an hour past sunrise. It's set to start in about an hour and a half, is what you can figure out is when it's gonna start.
The next thing would be currently where they are located. Is there a sizable body of water nearby?
Give me one moment. I forgot where I put my map. I gotta find that shit. I need that shit. Wait, I sent it to you, Kai. I sent you the like funky one. Oh yeah, there's
Did
one
we
kind
lose
of
someone?
Snow dipped for a
there's
second.
I don't know what you're talking about. We didn't lose anybody.
right outside of Odessa, there's a bit of the river that coming down from the Varus Mountains. That kind of like borders the wall of Odessa on the east side.
Would
As it's
Owen
kind of
would Owen know if they had enough time to make it to the river and back?
yes, it's right outside the walls. It's kind of like it's kind of serves as a bit of a moat on that side. As the waters can get pretty they can get a bit choppy when the weather serves it. But right now the water seems pretty calm, which is a bit fitting for the day, as it's meant to be a very happy and kind of joyous, prosperous day for the kingdom.
So Owen would definitely make their way to the water. To one, they are a sea elf. Water is their basic natural habitat, so they would want to just kind of clean up for the day, especially after having slept in a barn. And also potentially, no, they wouldn't do it. JK. So they would go and they would be like cleaning themselves up, getting ready for the day, and then take the time to dry off before heading back into the city to get ready.
Alrighty. Is Snow back yet?
Yes.
Okay. So now we come to a tavern inn that you found yourself in last night. You had homed up there for the night, and now you're waking up. What's it like for you waking up from this very odd dream? You haven't seen one like this for quite a while, and like one like it before, but only when you used to work. This is a bit odd for you.
As I wake,
God fucking damn it.
there's a bit of a pit in my stomach very much on fire. Can't quite place the emotion, rage, grief, uh, guilt. It's all burning in the pit of my stomach. Sit up and reach for my single-stringed viol and start tuning it while humming a tune that Mum used to put me to sleep with. Just reflecting on the dream itself for just a moment, and the only words that I can utter are, "Where were you when I needed you?"
Poof. Um. So you're saying this like to your mom, or?
Mm, both Mum and the gods that were depicted.
Ah. You don't really get a response, obviously. It's a quiet morning. You, as what you used to be when you worked very actively, you typically had a very nice, strict routine. Um, but you can tell just by like looking around as you're kind of like meditating with your lyre. One, you've woken up quite late. This is very odd that you've woken up this late. Um, Secondly, you also notice kind of on the bedside table next to your bed, um, you notice a little folded envelope with a seal that's quite familiar to you. It's violet wax with a stamp on it that looks like an eye.
Oh god, the Illuminati.
They've come for me. I reach for it and break the seal, see what's in it.
Um, Opening the letter, it's a note from someone you've interacted with quite a lot. It says, "Kin, dear Kin, whatever. It's Milo. Do you know me? Obviously. Today is the ceremony for the new king. I'm hoping to see you there. We will be up near right next, well, right behind all of the high priests of these religions and churches that king insists on having. Um, we'll save you a seat. You'll get a good view and enjoy the show a bit." And signs off in like his really doctor style, completely illegible signature.
Kid blushes ever so slightly, a little bit of lavender reaching his cheeks, and then he just sort of utters under his breath just a fuck.
This is gonna be great. So, how does your morning routine?
After tuning and kind of settling a bit, letting that pit in my stomach release a bit. Typical morning things, try to keep a bit of that ex-soldier going. It's only been 2 months, so I do some stretches, try and fail to stretch out my wings. Go down to because I'm in a tavern, right?
Yes, you're in a tavern.
Go downstairs, ask for some breakfast, whatever my typical, whatever they have that's cheap and easy to eat. With today, he typically does not drink, but he'd like a mug of some not strong ale, just some basically swill, just to get him through the day.
Alrighty. You go down. The barkeep looks you up and down when you first come down. And it's just kind of, they're also getting prepared for the huge rush they're expecting later after the ceremony. They look at you and they're like, uh, That'll be 2 copper for you. Yeah. 2 copper, I'll get you what you need. Do you want any breakfast?
Yeah, just whatever. Spot of eggs, sausage, bacon, whatever you got.
8. I'll get that for you. Be careful heading out to the ceremony if you're going. There's a lot of people. I don't expect them to be able to fit the entire crowd. I got like the entire kingdom coming to our capital. Albeit it's a big capital. Yeah, I'll get that for you. Get your payment ready. And she like turns around, heads to go get the drink you wanted, as well as plating up some of the food that's being cooked in the back. And then soon she comes by. She sets it down a bit heavily. She's always done that for as long as you visited this tavern. She kind of just sets stuff down heavily. It's not indicative of her being upset, though she seems a bit stressed right now.
I kind of give her a wink, and just I'm not a big fan of crowds either.
It's not really that. It's just can't wait for the stuck-up nobles, you know?
Ah, yeah, that too.
Gotta love them. How much you wanna bet that we're gonna see one of the priests in here? And I bet you it's gonna be the war god.
I'll be long gone before that.
Ah, good. Good thoughts. Can't wait to break up some fights. Lord knows we're getting them with a war god in here. Anyways, here's your food. Enjoy your day. Do you want me to keep your room reserved for the night?
For tonight, yeah. I
Alright.
figured I'd stick around for this one shindig, and then we'll see where I go. Thanks for
Alright.
keeping it for me.
Yep. Our usual 2 silver for holding it fine?
Sounds good to me.
Alrighty. I'll get that for you. And she like goes back to her busy work, helping other customers, working with her crew, trying to prepare them for kind of what's to come. It's already a bit of a busier morning than you're used to at this tavern. It's a lot more crowded. There's a lot more people who kind of came in last night. So it's a lot more people than you're used to, you know?
Icky.
Alright. As you're kind of closing in on that, we're going to head over to a much more posh inn. It's very big. It's in the more noble part of the capital. Massive. The rooms are absolutely massive on their own. Iris, you wake up to loud knocking on your door, jolting you out of your sleep. And it's like the knocking continues when there's no answer, and then you hear, Iris, my dear, you need to wake up, please. Don't make me get your father to come in here and wake you up, please. It's been a while since I've had to do that. Please wake up. And so that's kind of how you wake up, groggy and fresh out of this really vivid dream you just had. To your mother knocking on the door, trying to wake you up quite harshly.
She kind of sits up with a gasp and, sorry, I'm up, I promise.
Oh, sweet Lidris. Thank goodness you're finally up. It's quite a late morning already, dear. I'm going to be getting the maids in here to help you get ready. We must hurry down to breakfast. Your father is quite upset with the morning already. Do make haste. And we will see you at dinner. Not dinner. At breakfast. Yeah. And you can like hear her scuttling off. You can hear like the bustle of the various maids of the inn. Who are kind of there just for all the nobility who is staying at this inn. Your family is kind of on your family's on the second floor, of this inn. They kind of have like the entire second floor to themselves right now. But yeah,
I'm a
that's
bougie
kind of
bitch.
you are a bougie bitch. Yeah, that's kind of your awakening right now.
Um, she'll slowly step out of bed and kind of like rub off her arms because she just had spider webs on her, and even though they may not have been real, they feel real right now. And then she'll go over to the window and very gently open the curtains so she can see out um, into the town, and a small smile comes across her face because she loves watching everybody whenever they're first waking up and starting their day.
Yeah, the hustle and bustle. It seems you're quite late to that. A lot of people aren't really waking up anymore. You're quite late to waking up, you can tell. I mean, it's real nice and bright outside now. The sunrise has already passed. So, as it all, like, there's just tons of hustle and bustle. And you hear the door behind you creak open. You hear, Miss Iris, I've been sent by your mother to help you. Do you know your day's outfit for today that I can help you with?
Yes, I do. If you want to come in.
Yeah, and
And
in walks a little halfling woman. Her hair, nice silver pulled up into a tight little bun at the top. She has gold eyes, and she looks a bit on the older side, maybe like around 40 for a human. And she's like, yes, yes. Where's the outfit again? Um, and I will get that nice and steamed for you. And yes. Anything else that you needed?
good morning. What was your name again?
Yes. I don't know halfling names. I was like, shit, I forgot to make an
I've
NPC.
already made the DM go look up a name. Ha ha ha! Now it's not
Annabelle?
me.
If you got your bingo card, pull it out.
My name is Naira.
Nah, well, it's lovely to meet you this morning. My address is just right over here, and she walks over to the closet and pulls out the. She has them in order of the days, so she pulls out that one. I think it should be fine. There shouldn't be much that needs to be done with it, but thank you so much. I really do appreciate it.
um, yeah, she comes over. She takes the. One second. She takes the dress down. You watch as she kind of takes it over to your bed and like sets it down. Um, she like rubs her hands together and you see like a little like kind of steam come off of it. She like just runs her hands over it, kind of like getting rid of any wrinkles that may have happened on the travel. And then she like lifts it, shakes it a bit, pats it a bit, making sure there's no dust on it, and like holds it. She's like, "Here you go. Would you like help getting into it and situated?"
That'd be great. I don't do well tying them in the back by myself.
Alrighty, alright. Let's get your undergarments off. And she like comes over and is like getting all the fastenings undone on the dress, so and like getting it ready just so you can like step into it.
And while she was uh doing the dress, Iris was pulling a brush through her hair and took the two front parts and pulled them back and tied them up with a nice, cute little bow that matches the dress. So she has the half up, half down look.
Nice.
Before going over to step into the dress.
Alright. And she like pulls it up to like about your waist and like gets the sleeves because she's a bit short compared to you. And she like is like, here, can you pull it up the rest of the way? And she like moves to like there's like a stool under each of the beds and she like pulls one out so she can like be level to like fasten it in the back for you.
And she stays as still as she can while she does that. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I'm so terrible at doing that by myself.
No, don't worry, don't worry. And she like helps fasten it. Do you have a preference on how tight you want your dress?
Well, I'd still like to breathe. But
Yes.
nothing. I guess like just fitted is fine. Nothing too tight. But
You make the same jokes as your mother. She like starts fastening it up. She like pulls it a bit too tight at first, and then she like quickly undoes that because she's like, that's a bit too tight, and like fixes it. And soon you're all like nice and fastened up, and she like pulls your hair out of the back of the dress, making sure it's like all nice and coiffed for you.
thank you so
She's
much.
like,
That's all I needed. I can take care of the makeup and stuff myself.
alrighty, then we will see you down at breakfast. And she like rushes down out of the room because she has to go be down there to help all the other nobles who happen to stay in this inn. And you get left to do your makeup. And what kind of look do you kind of give yourself?
Well, first as she leaves, I am gonna like kind of adjust the dress a little bit just because it was a little crooked, so I wanted to make sure it's all nice and straight before just something gentle, kind of like a pinky blushy look, a little bit of a dark lip, but mostly to match the pink dress that she is wearing, which is like a soft pastel.
Alrighty. After you finish your makeup, you head down to the um, the tavern at the bottom of the inn, um, where your family is sat at in a very luxurious kind of booth table. Um, your mother is. Give me a moment. My brain just farted. Your mother is like sitting there watching your father, who looks like he's drinking like hard ale right now, as well as eating a pretty big breakfast. And your mother's like just kind of picking at a plate of eggs with some bacon on it, um, and like picking at some bread. Um, and when you come down, your mother like looks up and she's like, "Ah, uh, fuck, forgot your name, Iris." So here's another thing to put on the bingo card. Could I forget the player's name? um, and she's like, "Ah, Iris, over here," and beckons you over to the table where they're eating.
And she'll walk over and sit down and kind of give a look at the early morning ale. Before good morning, father. Good morning, mother.
Your father just kind of like lifts the cup and drinks a bit before like setting it down quite loudly because a few tables nearby kind of jolt and look over with really annoyed faces. He just like, it's like, "Good morning, Iris. Um, did you sleep well?"
I did.
That's good. We are simply waiting. The local temple, Heliopolis, will be here soon to escort many of the nobles. So, we're simply waiting for that. I'm waiting a bit, actually, but I guess it's fine since you slept in. And he kind of like looks and he's like, "Sit, eat."
I'm sure they're just busy this morning. I'm sure they'll be here. We won't miss it.
I don't think I would mind if we did. He says that in like a annoyed kind of, oh, huffy voice. It's got a bit of a huff to him.
I know you made it quite clear your view on what's going on today, but it's still respectful, and we gotta be respectful. That's what you taught me, right?
Yes, I apologize if I have been coming off as quite. And your mother interjects and she's like, "Bratty? Huffy? Childish, some might say?" And he like gives her a look and he's like, yes. All of those fit quite well, don't they? And your mother just like is like real beside herself with how proud she like is smiling and just like, it'll be a wonderful day. I'm quite excited. There's gonna be many vendors there with, I hear there's gonna be some wonderful fabrics that the local temples of once again, Gudai forgets a name. Give me a moment. I have to find names now. Find it here. Yes. There's going to be many fabrics from the Church of Anfo and the Church of Elira, which, as you know, are the sun and moon god. With Elira being the goddess of night and Anvo being the god of the sun. And they're known for making some quite very extravagant, beautiful, and high standard fabrics that a lot of nobles like putting in their clothing. So your mother seems quite excited to go and get that.
And I'm sure whatever you decide to make with will be absolutely lovely.
I sure hope so. Idris knows I could use another hobby. Well, another word. There's another bingo. Idris knows I could use another project to work on. It's been so long. So you're kind of left to your own devices to eat. And finally, we're going to enter the palace. Many of the personal guards and helmsmen to the king are expected to stay in the palace. It's quite posh living, some might say, for those who are simply just, guard. But they're tasked with protecting the most valuable person in the kingdom, the king. Mikey, you are awoken by a loud banging. And you jolt awake and see one of your fellow helmsmen next to you. And it looks as if they had just like slammed down the bottom of their spear on the ground to kind of wake you as like a loud alarm. So, what's waking up look like for you after that quite vivid dream?
Well, that little jump scare that I heard. I fell down the bed and I just start picking myself up and seeing what was going on.
Right. As you're like picking yourself up, making sure everything's all together, nothing's missing off your body, patting yourself down is just like you're the person you work with. He's just like, rise and shine, Sleeping Beauty. You're sleeping in on the most important day of your career. Congrats.
Drykes gives a slight ugh in the morning and starts to tidy up the bed and stuff. Wondering what was the day again, because I kind of forgot.
It's the day of the king's coronation.
Oh, surprised. Right.
So, as you're kind of like picking yourself up and getting everything down,
Mhm.
the person you work with is just kind of like leaning on his spear, just watching and just, are you ready for today? We get to look out over a sea of people who probably hate him, and we swear our loyalty to a literal child. That sounds fun, doesn't it? Who wouldn't want that?
Ah, yes.
All jest, all jest. We got breakfast down in the mess hall for you. Most of us are gonna focus on getting ready. Don't forget, you need to make sure you have all your stuff nice and shiny and clean before you're gonna be the one escorting the king. So,
How
I'm-
exciting.
yeah, you're the one who got the bad end of the straws, so. Yeah, you guys literally drew straws to see who, you drew straws to see who got to escort the king onto the ceremonial stage, and you drew the short stick.
I would like a refund.
Oh, my neck. So after you get everything like all nice and set up, and you make your way to the mess hall, you see a lot of your fellow helmsmen, working on getting everything set up. You even see a few of them, are like kind of crowded around a table, looking at a plate full of really shiny artifacts. And some of them are like, "Oh, I want this one," and are like sticking it to the front of their chest plate. Yeah.
Sticking it in the chest like I told them to keep. I would like come by and just slap it off their hands to keep hands off of it. You never know, it could be.
And like one of them like looks at him, he's like, "My guy, they're dragon scales. You know, from the king's dragon?" And they like pick the scale back up and like stick it back to the chest plate, and they're like, "It's a good luck charm. He shed and he gave us the scales. Here, have one." And they like hold out a about the size of like palm. Here, put it on your chest
Yeah.
plate.
Drax grabs it and places it on his chest and admires how it is.
Yeah, it's a very nice golden scale. As it's known, the king's dragon a is a golden dragon, believed to bring fortune and prosperity to the kingdom, and is a very strong sign of wealth with the king if he approves of the king. So as you sit down and start to brain fog, start to just like kind of relax from your dream and get to eating. Everyone's working around you. After a bit of time to yourself, there's a lot of hustle and bustle suddenly as enters a man who's very large and very broad-shouldered, darker skin, silvery hair, well, silvery gold hair, and a pair of. How the fuck did that get back on the board? Get that shit out of there! Get that shit out of there! And he like looks at you all, and a few of them are like, "Oh shit, the commander, shit!" And like they're all standing to get at attention for him, and like in their line. And he, how do you react to him entering?
Not not very excited, but tries to show a bit of respect to the commander.
So do you join the line at attention, basically?
Yeah, join the line with the crowd.
All right. So as you like join the line, he like walks down the line of you, and he's like, "Today is a very, very important day. Today is the coronation of our king, our future king. He will be our king soon. And it is going to be of utmost importance for you lot to keep an eye not only on the king, but on the people around as well. As we know, tensions are very high with people who are incredibly loyal to the previous king. All they want to do is they just really don't like the king. As you know, our king is very young, and a lot of people don't like the new thought that this younger generation seemed to bring. So, keep your mind firm, keep it focused. So, alright. He takes a bit of a deep breath. He's just like, alright, guys, we best be on our way. And he starts ushering all of you out to get going. And he when it gets to you, he puts a hand on your chest, but he's like, not you. You following me. And he turns to briskly walk down down a hallway.
Me questioning what does it mean?
Say that again?
Very concerned and wondering if something is wrong.
Nope. Just in a bit of a hurry. And you're his escort, so let's get going.
Okay.
And he's leading down the hallway that you actually saw last night in your dream. Down towards the king's personal chambers to his door. So, as you come to the door, he gives a quick knock to the door, and it opens, and you see the king, well, soon to be, kind of shaking his hands and kind of just walking around a bit nervous, and ooh, it's the day. I'm very nervous, and he spins around when the doors are open. He's like, crap. Hi. Is it time yet? Time to go to the ceremony and meet all the high priest and be coronated and all that fun stuff. You know, where's my dragon? Where's the dragon? He claps his hands together, and the man who had led you, he's like, the dragon will be there. Not worry. Do not worry. He's like, yeah, of course he'll be there. Talked just last night. Yeah, thought, I guess. Do dragons? Yeah, dragons talk. And he he's just muttering a bunch under his breath, and yeah, we should get going. And he's not even fully finished getting dressed. He's it's on his bed. There's still the kind of cape he has to wear, and he's missing a boot. And he's already shuffling towards the door. How do you interact with this?
I would ask the king, not to get worried, or he's in the room, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah,
Right.
he's shuffling towards the door, as I said, in a bit of a state of not finished. He's missing a boot and his cape's not on.
Sire, you are aware that you are missing a boot and your cape as well for your ceremony.
And he pauses and he looks down and he's like, wait, where's the boot? And he turns around, he's like, crap! He shuffles back to the bed, sits down, pulls the other boot on, and grabs the cape, fastens it on his shoulders, and gets the cord that's across his chest fastened correctly. He's like, thank you for that. What's your name again? I'm sorry.
Drax. The name is Drax.
Drax.
Drax
Thank you.
Ryan.
Thank you. I'm Ren. Well, you obviously know that. Everyone knows who I am, obviously. um, yeah, it's hard not to be nervous, I'm only, uh, I'm only, 16. I don't come from big posh land, and these are honestly the nicest clothes I've ever worn, ever touched, actually. Before now, I have never touched clothes this fancy. Like, the most fancy I had was a dirt-covered burlap sack. So this is really weird. So, um, I got the cape. Makeup was already done. My hair was already done. I think he puts his hand on his head and is combing through he has really curly gold locks. He's like, okay, I think I'm good to go. Um, yeah, let's get this whole shindig done. Do you guys call it shindigs here? I don't think you do, actually. Um,
Uh,
do you know what a shindig is?
no, sorry, I do not.
I see. Um, so, um, yeah,
We must get going though.
yeah, we really should, we really should. Oh yeah, your boss guy, commander guy said, yeah, commander guy. I'm gonna call him that. That seems a lot better than trying to remember whatever the fuck his name is. he's like nervously laughing. He's like, ah. He said there's the carriage at the front of the palace, and that'll take us to the actual ceremony site. And have you seen the priests for the for the churches? Are they intimidating? Are they really pretty? Are they that was a weird question. I'm sorry. I get scared by pretty people. He's like he's like, we need to get going. We need to get going. He pushes out the door and he's like, I'm so sorry.
No, Drax holds, tries to calm the king. He would try to adjust the king's outfit and cape and whatever he was left messy. Sire, it's going to be all right. I'm going to be on your side. I know this is a big ceremony and a lot of people are going to be there, but you'll do fine. I promise.
All right. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We got this. We got it. And he starts walking down the hallway towards the main door so that they can get to the carriage that'll take them to the ew. He starts leading to the carriage that you guys will be riding in to the ceremony. And as we've reached the 2-hour mark, I think this is a good spot for us to take our little be right back so we can all
Okay.
refresh a bit. So I will be changing to a be right back screen. Where is my be right
Be
back?
right back.
Break
Goodbye.
time.
A literal child.
He's so
I
small.
love him. He's so relatable.
I hate him.
I love him.
I
Goodbye.
get scared by pretty people.
Dude,
Oh my
dude
god.
out
same.
here like
Prince!
Manny. I'm
Why do
only
you hate
3.
Good lord.
the
The king
king.
is me.
My stream crashed in the middle of it. I didn't want to
No.
interrupt.
Oh,
sad.
well here.
So I'm not.
While we're on BRB, if you want to get it back up, we can try.
It's fine. I think I don't want to restream again and then.
If you're sure, love.
No, it's so good. Oh,
We
I
got
hate.
11 good minutes.
Nah, you're good.
Right.
God,
What is what is everyone's thoughts so far?
I feel like I should do better. That's.
You're
Having a
doing
great
just
Well, you're
time.
doing
Yeah.
fine.
For your first time, just great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm enjoying myself.
Listening to Kudai Bumble is
I'm
the
gonna
Prince
grab
slash
a drink of
Shakeen.
water, folks.
Yeah, get some water. Water
Yeah,
important.
yeah. I'm gonna go potty.
Same. Give me a second.
Yes, listen, I have the smallest bladder. When I DM, I'm up every hour, and half the time it's like, yeah, I'm definitely not thinking about the next thing that we should be doing. I'm peeing.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Alright, I'm gonna real quick run down and grab me a bag of chips. I will be
Okay,
right back.
what a mood though. Like I DM on Friday nights and I'm just like, they're currently in the Feywild and a lot of shit is going down.
So you better teach me the one-shot stuff, because I don't know anything about one-shot.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Thank you.
Who here is a Critical Role fan? I cannot remember.
Me.
I like Critical Role. I
Who
Snow
said me?
shouted that Snow shouted me, but the mic didn't pick it up.
I'm literally wearing a Critical Role shirt.
He's literally wearing a Critical Role shirt.
Who else
My
said me?
entire technician today
I'm
was
also
like
a Critical
real
Role.
excited about it.
I
Is
started
that-
watching
is
it
that
a little.
Mikey?
Yeah, Mikey. Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
cool. I'm gonna send you this meme that I found. I think where's I'm gonna send it to Snow too. Just give me a second.
Could you briefly explain? Oh god. I get it.
It's so good. I found it today on Twitter and I was like, yes.
Yeah.
I found the fruit by the foot.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, I'm gonna get like gummy worms. Fuck you.
Alright, I'm back. I found a fruit roll up.
Fruit roll up.
Okay, I like how you keep redeeming stuff even though I can't see my chat.
You see it now, don't you?
Yeah, I suppose.
It's okay. I've been doing it to Storybook
I
too.
are doing it back
Yep.
I'm
So
saving up
I
for that
found
custom
out-
entrance sound. I'm almost there.
So I found out who the person who said Nuram is fine is. That was my girlfriend. She popped into the stream.
Let's go.
You know that fits. His girlfriend is honestly great. Love her.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back. Also, can we collectively have a moment that all of us lost our shit at Snow doing the Korg fuck off?
Yes.
It was just so
Fuck off, Ghost.
perfectly timed and so perfectly Australian.
Yeah, we're really gonna have to make a bingo sheet for the chats, huh?
I think it's a good idea.
Wait, what is a good idea?
Bingo.
Should we have
Make
a
it-
shared bingo card
Oh.
between all of the streamers, or should every streamer have their own bingo card?
Oh,
And
may-
whoever gets it first gets like 5 gifted subs or something.
We could do that.
I think there's multiple options because you can like if you use Bingo Baker, which I linked, we can make all of our own options as well as like some extra options and the cards will shuffle. So like if everybody wants to use one or make their own, you have both options.
Ooh. Yeah, it's definitely something we can look into more. I think it would be really fun.
For sure.
It'd be really interesting.
You guys haven't seen the hell of my snacking during stream. I typically have like 7 bags of chips up here with me, and I go through all of them in a single 2-hour stream. I like not snack.
How big
at
are
all
the
day.
bags of chips?
What a break.
I ate
Are
an
they like
entire
normal
pizza.
size? Are they the like
Right.
just the regular
Yes.
size, like the tiny like snack size? How big are the bags of chips?
This. Bitty bitty.
Oh,
They're like
well,
the
okay.
normal like snack pack lunches.
Okay, I thought you meant like the full size bags. I was like,
Mm-mm.
woo.
No. No.
I've gotten more raids today than I have in the last 2 weeks, and I'm like, of course it's today.
Let's
Okay,
go.
so-
I haven't gotten a single raid. I think the
What?
last time I think the last time I got a raid was I think it was my return stream from my hiatus. I think I got like 2 raids that day.
Oh, Kudai, if you'd like to, Kai sent me a better, more close-up token. If you'd like to erase the one that I moved to the side here.
Bah.
Yeah, let me grab that.
Sorry, I know that's the second time I've done that today.
Oh no, it's fine.
How dare you, Snow?
There, it's gone.
No, I'm kidding.
I don't think you guys are ready for the ceremony. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm definitely.
I've left the ceremony open-ended, so you guys can decide what happens after the big kicker.
I sleep with the dragon. I mean, that's
And well, isn't that the bard's job? That's the bard's job.
yes, that is
Not
true.
the DA's part,
That's
I'm
the
sorry.
bard's job. Finn, come on, step up to the plate.
I would like to mention, Druid would know
Right.
why you can't do that.
Drax will yeet the king.
Do it.
I mean, to be fair, didn't someone try that?
Yes, they tried that last session. They tried that last time we had these two.
So, wait, I forgot.
Didn't the king offer us all like one wish, and their one wish was to be in a threesome with the dragon and the king?
What the
Oh
fuck?
my god.
Are they okay?
Are they okay? Also, wait, the king is. I didn't know the king was a child. That could have been. Like, good king, bad king. I forgot the concept.
That's for us to make our minds up.
He's 16 turning 17.
He's just 16 going on 17.
Alright, well, at least he's not 15 turning 16. That would be really ridiculous.
Exactly.
Nah, he's 16.
Okay.
So ridiculous.
I killed the king.
A child. No!
Murder.
What do you have?
I am Drax. I murdered the king in cold
Throw
blood.
the king into the river.
Dude, the vine of what do you have? A knife? No, is literally the dragon to the king.
Intriguing.
Can I cook the fish?
No.
Why?
No, you cannot cause inter-party fighting.
Not yet, anyway.
I'm a chaotic being. Oh wait, I am lost. Fuck.
I'm like,
It's okay. I'll join with Snow, and they'll help me out with murder.
Let's fucking go. So Kai, it's Owen. I kept reading it as Aowen. Like,
Yes,
from Lord of the
Owen.
Rings.
Oh.
Same. Okay. Owen.
I thought you
Owen.
said I thought you said Bowen.
No, like the author, Owen Colfer.
Yeah. Okay. Owen.
Oh, okay.
Owen Wilson.
let me finish eating these chips and then we can
Wow.
come back from
Wow.
BRB.
Wow.
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 The session is 4 hours, or how long are they? Because I forgot.
12 hours.
12
Yes,
hours?
I mean-
12 hours.
Either 3 or 4 hours.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's probably 4-hour hard cap, but really, like, and this is all up to the DM, but the way I've seen campaigns go is it's like you usually have a hard cap, and then the soft cap is like whenever you reach a good stopping point.
Yeah, that's probably how we'll do it.
Okay.
Right.
Because something
I'm-
around 9, I gotta get something done. Sorry.
I'm going to come off of BRB now.
Okay.
Okay.
We return. All right, let me note. I need my notes again. Give me my
We have
notes.
returned.
All right. So, eventually, everyone makes their way to the ceremony. It's very crowded for some of you.
Good.
It's not as crowded for a few of you. For Iris, you are well up next to the stage. Do you remember which house your family represents? Like, is it economy, politics, or military?
Me?
Yeah, which I believe we touched on at one point.
Yeah, let me I have it somewhere. Have it somewhere.
I know you're from Taladon. I can never
Yeah.
remember which house you're part of.
I think.
I know it's either economy or politics because I remember at the one shot, you were not part of the.
Yeah, you. Politics.
Alright, so you're right up next to the stage. You kind of have like the best view, kind of lounged with your family in these really nice ornate cushions they have wrapping around the stage. The stage is a very nice white wood with golds and blues ornately weaved around the base of it. Over to the side, away from the nobility, kind of separated by a little walkway towards the stage. You see a lot of very nice and neatly, clothed, priesthood. A lot of the priesthood from the different, churches in the city. You see about 16 people over there, one for each of the churches, which there's about 16 that are worshipped in the city. There's a group of people about 5 feet back from the priest, mixed in, all of them just kind of staring intently at the stage. Kin, this is where you will find Milo, the man who had left you a letter. And there's also within the crowd where a few more of you will find yourself is the general populace. So this is where Owen and Ace would find themselves kind of just intermingled, with Ace a bit more close to where the priesthoods were. And then there's Naram, you were asked to help with escorting the nobility, so that's what you've been kind of doing all morning. So you're up close to the nobility, a bit close to more the military side since they kind of sit farthest back in the nobility area. How do you all kind of interact with your surroundings here? As a excluding Mikey, because you are with the king, and we will bring you in just a bit.
I'm kind of just like looking around everywhere, eyes kind of shining in excitement, and just trying to get a glance at everything without moving too much, so that I don't get fussed at for being fidgety.
Yeah. Around you, a lot of the nobles are intermingling. You see your father over talking with the military noble, the noble patriarch of the Lindner military house. You don't know his name personally, but you know him as Lord Gallon. He and your father are just sharing some. It seems like they've both worked themselves into a tiny bit of a drunk stupor this morning, so they're just kind of like.
Sorry, what time is it?
It's like 10 in the morning.
Good fucking lord.
Your
The
father's
Middle
not.
Ages, all everyone does is drink.
Your father's not happy about this. Let me tell ya.
Good lord.
Giant man child, my father.
Give me a moment. I shoved a Cheeto in my mouth.
He's mad the king is now a reflection of him.
Yep, exactly. Right. Your mother is kind of sat with a few other ladies. This you also see the matriarch of the politics house, from Lindner, sitting lounging next to your mother. She's a dark-skinned woman. She's pretty young. She's maybe about 30-ish. She is pregnant. She's also got a about 5-year-old sitting next to her, and she's just kind of leaning, talking to your mother. You know this woman. Her name is Adele. Horigami is her name. And yeah, it's just a lot of intermingling in the nobles. None of them are really leaving the little ring of the nobles. Is there anything else you would like to do?
Yeah, I'm not really interacting with the nobles per se. I'm more like towards the edge as far as I can, kind of looking out over the crowds so that I can like it's kind of people watching the civilians. But if someone says hi to me, I politely chat with them, but otherwise
Most of the civilians, knowing, like, they can tell that you're nobles because of like how your clothing is. A lot of them kind of just wave and like will give like a short little bow to you, but not a lot of them really step necessarily to talk to you.
no, I'm not expecting them to just more people watching, but if they do like catch my eye, give me like a nod, a wave, whatever, I wave back and I smile. But
Alright, alright. We're going to move over to Kin. Arriving to the ceremony, well, before the ceremony starts, you're in this ceremony area. What do you do entering this quite large crowd?
Uh, give a bit of a sigh when I see the amount of people gathered. But going to make my way not briskly, but just with a purpose towards where Milo said that he might be lingering, looking for him.
Alright. They're both sitting, in some in like little benches that have been set up. He's got a very dark-haired woman next to him. She's
Oh,
very
fuck.
she's very pale, and she's wearing a very nice black dress with have you seen like those necklaces of like red jewels that kind of make it look like blood?
Mm-hmm.
She's wearing a necklace like that. And she's wearing a very large, ostentatious feathered hat as well. That's probably getting in the way of the people sat behind her. And she's got these clear, vivid blue eyes, and she's just sat there, kind of like watching the stage. She seems to notice you before Milo does. She like looks at you, and then she like looks at Milo, and she's like, "Dear, your little ward is here." And he like looks up and he's like, "Oh, get over here." And he like waves you over. And she's just like watches you with a very keen interest. She doesn't seem I gotta remember if I sent hold on, I gotta see if I sent you her info. One moment.
Is it? I think you did. I have it pinned if you're looking.
Shit. Where's your fucking DMs? Yes, you have met her. This is Crow. You know Crow.
Phenomenal.
Huh?
Phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I realize that she's making or trying to make kind of eye contact, I pull my cavalier's hat a little bit to cover my eyes, but continue making my way towards them.
Alright.
I do have a question for Milo, but I don't know if they'll let me approach any closer.
she lets you approach just fine. She doesn't seem to want to inhibit you from getting close. She's just watching, observing, kind of like drinking in the chaos all around her.
Without acknowledging her too much further, Kin leans into Milo as close as he'll dare and very quietly. Uh, I'm not entirely sure I should be here, but given where we are, have you gotten any kind of a read on the new king? Interacted much?
He leans back a bit. He's like, "Mm, not very much. The one you would want to ask is Crow here." And he looks to Crow, and Crow's like, he's such a fun little kid. He's so, in his own right, he's very daring in what he wants to accomplish. Some grand thoughts of, grandeur and being a savior to the people. The dragon certainly likes him.
Kin's nose kind of crinkles when she says that the dragons liked him.
He'll do nicely, I guess. I honestly think he'll do wonderful for what his purposes are. And she's holding a small bowl of crisps or crackers that she seemed to have taken or gone and bought. Or she's just sitting there after she says that, she just puts one in her mouth and just focuses all around them again.
Interesting. He doesn't say it out loud, but he kind of makes this face like he's contemplating if he's made a mistake by leaving his service, but that's really all he wanted to ask, and just kind of nods his head at both of them and stands behind them for waiting for the ceremony to begin.
Alright. You're escorting a bunch of nobles, and when it seems that there's really no more that you can do to help, how do you interact with the crowd around you?
Nuram is certainly a people watcher. He's from not around these parts, one might say. So he doesn't really understand what to do in these kinds of festivals. He's never really been to a large party before that wasn't very formal. He's been to more celebrations of graduation than any kind of celebration of holidays. So this is all very strange to him, but he spends a lot of time people watching, and especially after the comment about flight, he is especially making sure to watch the children of the nobles.
In case they sprout wings.
Exactly.
Alright. So you're not necessarily interacting with anyone, just mostly people watching?
For certain.
Alright. From what you can kind of gather about the people that you're watching, there seems to be a bit of an even split of excitement for this event, as well as a lot of distaste. You can overhear some people grumbling about, oh, this new generation, this king isn't fit type of stuff. And most of the kids that you're eyeing are kind of just staring up at their parents as they discuss this before just going back to playing with toys that have been put in front of them. Yeah.
Nurum is more specifically, once he hears comments around the king either like not deserving his position, because Nurum comes from a very meritocratic society, so hearing that someone doesn't deserve a position is culturally incredibly jarring, and he may start eavesdropping, although it's impolite.
Alright, alright. Also, fun fact, I just realized I didn't turn my mic back on.
Have you been silent on the stream this whole time?
Yep,
Oh
I
no.
have.
Oh no.
That is very unfortunate.
It's only been like 10 minutes. Well, 15. It's fine. It's
The
fine.
silly Billy maneuver has been committed.
There's another one for the bingo card.
Yep. Someone forgets to turn their mic back on.
You mean Kai every stream?
Bite me, Keldor.
When and where,
Lol.
bitch?
You know what's funny is that habit has kind of gone away now for Kai.
You say that. I did it literally last stream.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true, you did.
Yeah.
Alright. Why don't you roll me stealth real quick?
All right, 1 second here.
Jesus.
That's gonna be a
Nat
20.
20. There's another one for the bingo card.
I think we need a counter, like nat 20s and nat 1s.
Our first nat 20 of the campaign.
It's funny.
The second roll of the game.
It's funny
Yeah, right?
for those watching the VOD or are in chat right now. The first roll of the campaign for our little test session was also mine, where I got a nat 1.
Yep.
Beautiful.
I just realized I can open this so people can actually see the rolls.
Oh, pog.
Alright. So yeah, you overhear a lot. It's the general consensus is people just don't think a 16-year-old who was found in a shire off, a couple miles off of Lidner, who, wore basically burlap sacks for clothes is not befitting of the helm of king. And that's kind of the general consensus of it. And like there's some people who are like, they're glad that they found, the heir to the previous king, hoping that this king that's about to be given the helm of the king, also carries the previous king's natural gentleness and kindness. So yeah, that's kind of what you overhear from the nobility.
A lot of Nurum's thoughts are on things like, well, why is leadership determined by like whose kid is who and where? Why is it not just put the guy who's good at it in that job? And so he's just gonna kind of sit there confused. These people are weird. I miss home.
Alrighty. We're gonna move into the thicker of the crowd. We're gonna move towards where it's mostly those who are under, the churches. Towards the small group from Sarita's, her, temple. Keldor, you find yourself mixed in with the group, of priests and priestesses who you typically find yourself staying with, in the temple of Sarita. They've taken quite a liking to you. They like training with you, and taking care of you, almost like a little puppy. But you find yourself kind of in that group. Just kind of everyone around you kind of mingling. There's a few people who, you see a few like big bulky guys, with like massive spears and glaives on their back, and you can see the symbol from the from the Church of Arminium, the god of war. You can see that symbol kind of emblazoned on whatever they're wearing. They're kind of interacting with the priestesses around you and the priests around you. How do you interact with the crowd, if at all?
Ace very rarely interacts with people, and only if he really, really has to. He is practically like clutching to the arm of who he would consider his mother of the group, and like kind of stands slightly behind her, and like she'll introduce him to people. He will politely oblige and tell them his name and where he had come from, but mostly like he will follow his congregate around as
Alright.
like a little protection mechanism for him.
Yeah. So this kind of like mother that you've kind of adopted from this church, her name's Diane. She's pale. Um she has like a tone kind of greenish color hair, with pointed ears. She's introduced herself to you as as a wood elf. Um and she's just wearing the typical adornment of the priesthood at Serta's church. And she's just like keeping an eye on you and like looking around. And like when people come up to her, she'll introduce you, but she's not actively seeking them out. She's more concerned in keeping you from like freaking out the crowd when you inevitably like freak out so far that you kind of shift. So she just kind of she's just kind of got like an arm on your shoulder and is just like nodding to people around her. And she like looks to you and she's like, "Are you doing okay?"
Ace nods to her and just shyly like nuzzles into her and just waits for something else to happen.
Yeah. She kind of like pats your head and like wraps an arm around you comfortingly. She's like, um, "It'll be starting very soon. We're just waiting for the king to arrive. Um, if you'd like, you can head over to where people are starting to sit. Um, and she like motions to where a lot of the priesthood that had arrived, they're like all on these they're they're not like they're cushions, but they're not like an ornate as the ones the nobles have. It's like ones that they brought from the temple to just kind of like sit as a group. Since they're kind of far back in terms of where they are in the group, you're in a bit of the more sparsely crowded. It's still crowded nonetheless, but it's a bit more thin than being like as close to the stage as you possibly can. Yeah. Is there anything else?
She tells me to go do something. I very reluctantly let go of her arm and do as I'm told and go
Well,
sit amongst the
yeah,
other people.
she had asked if you wanted to go sit, basically.
Oh, okay. Then I would agree.
Alright. She comes and joins you and sits down. And after you guys are all settled, we're going to go now into the thick of the crowd. Owen, this is like the best time for you to be working, in all honesty, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Kool-Aid man.
So, how do you interact with the crowd? How do you go about your business?
So Owen has a hood and they have it pulled up over their head so that their face is obscured in shadow. And they're keeping kind of to the edges of the crowd, moving through only when necessary. And as they move through, they are looking for coin and they are looking for easy targets to pickpocket and places where they can snatch valuables.
All right. Roll me stealth.
12. I hate D&D Beyond.
Oh boy. As you move, use my dinosaur deep, honey. Oh, damn. Motherfucker. So as you're like moving around, there's like some times where like just barely you can hear like the jingling of your own little bell because like someone bumped into you a bit roughly and that's like forced you to bump into someone else. So you lose a few targets due to like being forced to bump into them, but for the most part, it doesn't seem like a lot of people notice what you're doing. Not until you're quite far away and you can overhear them be like, "Oi, where's my coin purse?" Doing this for about 30 minutes, you manage to nab around 20 gold. So you can add that to your inventory.
Working on it. Oh, not 230. There we go. Okay. Got it.
Wouldn't you like that?
I know.
Take a little extra for yourself, why don't you?
A tea.
Alright. Soon people start sitting, so it gets a bit harder for you to do that. When you notice people are starting to like settle into their spots, where do you find your spot?
They would be working their way the edge of the crowd, kind of closer to like the main event, whilst like basically think of it like you're trying to get to the front row of a concert, but you're staying on the edge, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Alright. Alright. So. Rub my hands. Give me one moment. Select. I need my human layer. Stage. Gonna like position you guys where I'm on the wrong fucking layer to do that. Hold on. You're like closer. You're like closer. You're like over here. Oh, you just went completely off screen for me.
Yeet.
You're about here. You're about here. You're gonna be like smack down over here. Okay. God. Alright. So. A hush starts to fall over the crowd as overhead you hear the beating of wings. And there's a shockwave of gas throughout the entirety of the crowd. As from the palace, which you can see from here, up in one of the tallest towers in a place known as the Dragon's Roost, a golden beast starts to climb out of the tower, kind of spiraling down a bit before pushing off and spreading their wings. Very showy, of course. They kind of glide down until they land on the stage. And by the way, yes, I'm aware that this dragon on the board is blue. I couldn't find a gold one.
Whoa.
But yeah. And what lands before everyone is a large golden adult dragon who stands a bit poised, their wings tucking in, and kind of like positioning itself, its tail curling around like a cat, over their feet. Next, all the priesthood in the crowd, like the high priesthood, stand up, and start to walk onto the stage, all standing in front of the dragon. And give me a moment, my brain just farted. It just went loading. Here we they're led by a woman who has the symbol of Rendella, the goddess of childbirth, also known as the matron, the high deity of Isandr. She leads the group of 16 high priests, and they all stand on the stage. And now we go to a simple little carriage where Drac and King are just now arriving to the stage. You just witnessed the dragon land and the 16 priesthood come onto stage, kind of hiding you both from view. The soon-to-be king is like shaking. He's like sitting there physically vibrating. He's like, "Oh, it's time! 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 It's." What if I can't do this? And he's like been quiet this entire ride, and now she's like, "Oh my god, I can't do this! I can't do this! I am not ready to be king! I am 16. I do this." And he's like physically vibrating in his seat as he looks to Drex, and he's just like, "What do I do? What 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 do I do?" Yeah. Mikey?
I have my mic muted. Oh, I hate
Oh,
this.
no.
Oh my
You can
god.
turn it
Okay.
around.
I need a new mic. Okay. Repeat the
Your
whole thing
bingo.
again. Jesus Christ.
He's just basically like vibrating with anxiety, and he's just like muttering to himself like, "What do I do? What do I do? I can't do this. I can't do this. Help, help, help. What do I do?" And he's like looking to you expectantly as if you'll give him the answers.
I will give you the most common base answer. Get a grip.
Oh,
You've got this. I believe in you.
he like that's technically no way to speak to your king, by the way. And he like, "Okay, let's go, let's go, let's go." And he like, "I got this." He like shuffles a bit, and he's like looking to you. He just like stepped out of the carriage, and he's like, "You'll be up there with me, right?"
Of course.
Okay.
Not leaving out of your sight. I promise.
Oops. I think I accidentally moved it. My bad. I meant to grab something else. You're gonna come over here. You're gonna be right here. I gotta grab this. Hold on. Demon fillet. Layer. Token layer. Alright. Alright. So the ceremony starts when he steps up the onto the little stage. He is holding a staff that has a glowing tip, as well as like that little ball. I have no idea what the little ball means. I just know that they're typically at coronations. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck it's called. Whatever Elsa held, she got coronated as queen.
It's a secret.
It's very important to cup your ball, little boy.
Oh my.
I'm
No.
sorry. I'm taking it back. Goodbye.
I clipped it.
No.
Oh.
That's unfortunate, and I think that
it's
Kai, you know what
just
to do with
literally
that, right?
called an orb. Just a heads up. It's just called
Quotes,
an orb.
orb.
quotes.
Just a golden orb.
All right.
Can I
But
steal
yeah.
the orb?
No.
Teal's orb.
But yeah. And as the ceremony starts, first steps up the first priest or priestess, the priest for the goddess of Rondella, and she like holds out a little symbol, and the king like hovers the staff over the symbol, and she like basically gives him a little blessing in the name of their god. And it goes like this with all 16 of the priests. Each giving a very kind of accurate blessing to be given by the god that they worship. And soon he turns around. Well, no, he doesn't. There's a bit of a startled sound sweeping over the crowd as to the side, walking up the stage, like stage steps, is now Crow, the one who had been sitting next to Milo and Ken. She just, without hesitation, walks and she's like, I'd like to offer you a blessing as well. And the king just kind of, pardon me? She's like, I'm offering you a blessing in the name of Karsus, the god of chaos. And he's like, oh, okay. And he's like, hesitantly hesitantly looks at the other priests, and the priests are just like, they like don't know what to do. And she just like holds out a little symbol and has a little eye on it. And she's like, this is an offer, a blessing in the name of Karsus. The reign starts here with the blessing of chaos, and your wish to rule. Your soul will burn a-blazing for your kingdom, and we will see whether you can resist the fall of your ancestors, and the unsettling feeling that you're always watched. Or if you can write your own story, for the entertainment of the gods that stand to watch you. And she hands him the little symbol, and he like hesitantly takes it. And he's just like, in a sign of good faith, I'll take it. And when he takes it, a light kind of emanates from the symbol. It's a very deep violet light that just shocks up his arm and flows into his chest, and he just like shivers a bit. And it's just like, what was that? And she just walks off the stage and goes back to sit next to Milo. And Milo's just like, he's just like unfazed by this. And the king just kind of like stands there a bit in shock before turning to like look at the crowd. And there's a very long silence at first before hesitantly one of the priests just yells out, "All hail the new king." And soon the rest of the crowd starts to follow in that chanting. Even Crow, who seems very proud of herself right now, as she stands up and joins the chanting, along with Milo, who stands to join the chanting. And now it's up to you all how this moment has affected you. What do you all do?
I'm going to lean in, ignoring literally everything going on around me. Lean into Crow and say, "What the fuck was that about, mate?"
Not to worry, dear. Alright, it's nothing. Something very similar to the kind of bond you and dear Milo have. Don't worry. It's
What?
just not to worry. It just means he's being watched. Whether he likes that and it makes him feel safe, or if it's unsettling and it makes him feel in danger, is completely up to him. It all depends on his perception of a caring father watching his little children of chaos running amok in the world. And she just like starts clapping along with the crowd again, just turning her attention back to the stage. What about the rest of you?
I was just clapping like, what the fuck just happened?
Nuram is going to just kind of be staring at the king If the king were to like peruse the crowd, he would see this rather tall green man staring him dead in the eyes.
Terrifying.
No, it's not creepy. It's just a tall, gaunt, green
Ugh.
man with pointed teeth, yellow eyes, staring
So
him
normal.
in the eyes,
Oh,
with
yeah.
a completely blank
Normal,
expression.
yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm just staring down the king as well, just looking at them.
It's just in the shadows, not like literally not clapping along, not chanting, just silent, like literal arms folded across chest, kind of like leaning back on a foot, just watching.
And I'm far back enough away that there I don't join in the clapping as to not call attention to myself and to but I didn't understand that something weird had happened, so I'm just like, oh, okay, people are clapping. Great. Awesome.
Yeah. So, what about Mikey? What's Drax's reaction to what just happened?
Very shocking, and still thinking about the lucid dream that occurred in his head. Feels like a reminder of something.
Yeah. The king kind of just like turns and like looks to the priest. He's like, "Do I give these to someone?" He's like referring to the now 3 things he's holding. And one of the priests comes and takes the staff and takes the orb, but none of them are going anywhere. Like they're avoiding touching that symbol that he's been given. And it seems to freak the king out a lot more, because he's like, so, did I just get cursed? I feel like I just got cursed. Am I holding a cursed object? Should I be freaking out? Will that cause the rest of the people here to freak out? And he's like muttering a bit loudly. It's like, Iris, you're close enough to hear him muttering these things. He's just like, shit, I just got cursed. I'm gonna die soon, aren't I? You guys don't have another heir to the throne? I'm 16. I don't have anyone that I'm dating. I'm not having kids this young, by the way. This isn't gonna kill me, right?
Is he like looking around only at the stage, or is he looking around at everyone?
He's
Is
just
he looking at me?
he's like he's like mostly looking to Drax, but he'll like hesitantly like look around to see if anyone else is hearing him. And so he's just like, gosh.
I'm very. I was gonna say I'm very concerned. I asked the king if he's okay. There's something wrong.
Yeah, if he meets Iris's gaze at all, she gives him a little thumbs up and a smile, like, you're doing great.
He like looks back to Drax. He's like, I feel fine physically. Like that weird light show was a bit cold. The symbol is freezing. It's really cold. Like not freezing to the point it hurts type of freezing, but like it feels cold, like like when it's been outside in the snow type of cold.
I see.
It's weird. Do you know who the hell they were talking about? Like what the god was? God of chaos. We have a god of chaos? I barely can remember the 16 gods we already have. We have a 17th one? What the fuck?
We do have a god of chaos. Yeah.
There's a few gasps as he like says that, and he's like, shit, I just said fuck.
Shit, fuck.
The king said the fuck word.
Starts rippling
Get
through
his
the
ass.
crowd. It's like it like starts rippling through the crowd that like the king is starting to freak out a bit.
Can I
Okay.
kind of, since I have a little bit of past history with Drac, as if I remember correctly,
Yeah,
can
you
I
guys
kind
used to
of,
work together.
yeah, can I kind of try to get his attention or get their attention?
Um, that depends.
Just an arm up.
Drac, roll me perception.
Drax perception. What? How do I? Oh. Wait, did I roll it? No, I didn't.
Got it.
Nope, I don't got it. How do I roll?
So when you go on your character sheet, right? Look it up
Mhm.
on your character sheet. Um, you should be looking at ability scores and find the one that says perception. That's in P's. Well, it's under skills technically. And there's one that says perception. You should have a +2 to it. And you click that +2 button.
Perception.
You finding it?
Nope, it's
Here, let me open Beyond just real quick. Campaigns. View campaign.
did it work?
There we go.
There we go, yeah.
Oh,
Oh god.
Woo!
I don't.
Womp womp.
You're a bit too focused on the king to notice, so Kin, unfortunately, you are unable to get his attention. The king
Throw a
is just
rock.
taking up.
throw a rock.
Yeah, the king is just kind of taking up his entire attention.
Well, shit.
Do I am very concerned about the king.
Nurum, I want you to roll me perception.
Understood. That is going to be a 19 plus 3, 22.
All right. You notice kind of moving through the crowd, the hustle and bustle as the ceremony comes to its close. A young man with dark skin, golden freckles, dark curly hair with a single tuft of white at the bangs, and not robes, but just black clothing, moving through the crowd, seemingly towards the stage. He seems to purposely cross your line of sight. As he pauses, glances your way but doesn't make eye contact, kind of nods his head a bit, and starts to move more throughout the crowd.
Seeing this, Nuram is going to like immediately shift his stare at the king to staring at this man. This is the man from my dream, correct?
Yes, it is. From what you can tell, it seems to be.
Nuram is immediately going to take this as a sign of this man is either going to try and kill the king, or this man is who I've been sent here to see, and he's going to be like moving, like kind of surfing through the crowd, trying to talk to this individual.
Right? He kind of weaves through more towards the priesthood now. He, knowing that he probably can't be very well seen, he very much makes himself known to Ace. You see the man from your dreams now. He just weaves through, pauses for a moment, kind of like looks around, holding his hands to his chest, kind of as if surveying the area around him. And then he kind of glances to you, looks you up and down as if sizing you. And then he like makes a hand motion as if beckoning you. This isn't the man from your dreams, from what you can tell.
Oh boy, that's a great question. What would Ace do? Uh, I believe in that scenario, he more than likely would bring someone with him if he was going to check it out. So I think he asks for his not adopted mother, but the person he considers to be his mother in his life to join him if it would be okay if she followed him.
She kind of like looks up, looks to you. She's like, "What is it? What do you need?"
Someone has called me over that I recognize.
If you recognize them, you should be safe. Don't worry, I'm not too far.
I nod and I take off in the direction of Strange Man.
Alright, he kind of like weaves past you, moving straight up now. And he like pauses and like detours back around. Is Kai back yet?
Yes.
Okay, they didn't like message if they were back yet.
I just sat back down.
Okay. They kind of weave through the crowd a bit, kind of leading you on a tad bit before they circle towards the edge of the crowd. Owen, this is where you notice first the man from your dream, the one who gave that really cryptic poetry to you. As well as two people who you remember from your dream kind of tailing him. He just like pauses and he like looks behind him at the two tailing him. And he just like makes direct eye contact with you, Owen. And he's like he doesn't say anything. He just like stares and then turns to keep walking. With keeping these two about a 10-foot distance behind him. Doesn't let them completely catch up with him. It'll like slow down at times so they can still see him. Yeah, you see the man from your dream. As well as two people that you saw in your dream.
Is he moving through the crowd to like a more closed space, aka like buildings, or is he just walking straight through the open space through the crowd?
He's kind of just maneuvering through the crowd as if trying to drag in a crowd behind him as well. With these two that you've seen from your dream. Like, you recognize Nurum, kind of, and Ace, kind of. They were both in Drag In, not the dragon.
Oh my god.
But he's just kind of meandering. Motherfucker.
Children. Literal children.
What happened?
That's what Ace is.
Children.
Ace.
He's just kind of meandering a bit. Not necessarily looking to have any specific place that he's going. Yeah.
Is there anywhere with height? Because I feel like Owen would be less than eager to necessarily chase this man, given the crypticness of the dream, but they would want to keep tabs. Is there anywhere with like height that Owen could get to kind of keep an eye on him as he moves through the crowd, so that if he like moves off to a secluded place, they could easily follow?
Yeah, so the kind of highest place that you can kind of get over here is like closer to the stage. It seems to be a bit elevated on that land right there as well. They all like, yeah. He actually like walks by an area that's a bit elevated as he's just kind of like meandering through, seemingly just having a little stroll through the crowd, doing his people watching.
All right. Given that there's no like actual good height vantage point, Owen's going to follow, but at a more distant pace. So like behind him and behind the other two.
Alright. He walks kind of directly behind the nobles now. Iris, you're focused on the stage, aren't you?
I mean, I kind of was before, but that was more when he was freaking out. Now she's kind of back to her, like, glancing around, people watching.
Alright, roll me perception.
Okay. Perception.
Hit or miss.
Disgrace.
Hey, if I can find the right tab.
outcast!
Perception. Oh, that was so close to being a nat 20. Are you
Aw.
kidding?
Well,
It literally
These-
like hung on it and then turned into an 8, and I was like,
Well,
oh.
the DC was 10, so. So
I was
yeah,
just more mad about the nat 20 thing.
Oh,
he you notice as you're like people watching, towards the edge of the nobility you see a familiar man, dark skin, golden freckles, single white tuft at the bangs of his curly hair,
yes.
just walking by. He like pauses, glances behind him to make sure he's still being followed by 2 people, and then a third, making sure they can get close enough. Pausing for a moment to like glance towards the stage, just like purposely glancing over you and continuing onward.
She kind of stands, like, not really like as a reaction sort of thing. Like, this is someone I saw from my dream. Dreams are not supposed to be real, and she kind of like stands like in a what the fuck is happening sort of motion.
Yeah. He continues off towards where the priests were standing again. Just kind of moving. He pauses a bit and glances back at you just to kind of see if you're following or not.
I mean, I'm on like a kind of lifted up area for the nobles, right?
Yeah.
She's not following, like, she is with her eyes, but she's not like running after him.
Yeah. He like nods and like continues on, and he like purposely stopped next to you, Kin. He's now like right next to your seat. And he just like looks down at you. He like looks to Milo and Crow. And Crow just fucking tenses up really fucking bad. She's just like goes completely silent. She was in the middle of talking to Milo. They were talking in a weird language that you couldn't exactly understand. But she just suddenly stops talking and like stares at the man next to you, Ken.
I also stare. Honestly, there's still a bit of rage in the Tum Tum, and that's the last person I saw before waking up. So, I guess Kin steps forward between the 2 of them, kind of physically moving them, like hands on shoulders, and pushes them aside. And asks, "You don't," or not even ask, but I don't think you're supposed to be here.
He just kind of like watches you. I'd like to mention this man is like probably even shorter than Ace.
Wow.
Like Ace, how tall are you?
I believe 5'6", 5'4".
He's shorter than you.
Oh.
He's like 5 even. Okay? He's like as small as the king, and the king's 16. He like stares up and he just like makes a motion to follow and like turns. And it's at this point he turns to move towards the stage, towards the stairs that go up on the stage. Trauma. Oh, you mean my lord? Oh, that made me giggle. He like actually walks up on stage, and Drax, this is where you notice him now. You recognize him. He was in your dream. he's also like got a little parade of people behind him now. And he like glances, he walks to the edge, like, can I? It doesn't let me. Hold on. How do I do it? Where is it? Where is it? You guys can't see when I click, do you? There used to be a thing
No.
that let you see when I click.
You can if you're near the little arrow and you hold it down.
What?
If you're on roll 20 and you're on the little cursor on your sidebar and then you hold that down, it should create a little like watch. Like that.
How do you do that?
Just hold. Click and hold. Now it's like fireworks going off on the page.
Oh, so yeah, he's like standing right here. I want a different color. I'm changing my color. Fuck y'all. I want a different color. Give me my yellow. There. He's like, no! He's like right here. And he's
there
like
were 3 spots. Where was it?
The yellow one. It was the yellow spot.
Oh, okay.
right here. Yeah, yellow. And he looks down at Iris and he's like, you mind getting up here, please? This is important for you. And the king doesn't seem too fazed by this man. He's just like watching him.
And she'll kind of like turn to look at her parents and then look at the king on stage, and he doesn't seem like weird about it, and she just goes, all right, and like slowly makes her way down and dodges around the crowd, lifting up her dress a little bit as she goes up the stairs.
Yeah, he watches and he like basically waits for the rest of you to get up here. And like he moves, so like now it's mostly over here. The dragon actually moved to kind of be standing in front, so no one can really see you guys either. So you like, I'll come up here.
Wow.
Kai, do you get on stage?
Owen would be really against putting themselves in front of that many eyes. Like, if they have to, they would, but they'd be so hesitant about it.
I don't know where your fucking model is. Bro, where are you?
I'm all the way at the
Yeah,
bottom of the
Down towards the
screen.
bottom.
Yeah, right here.
Hold on. I gotta move.
Wait, I can
all
do the fancy. I can do the. There we go.
This one.
I'm right here.
This here.
Right here.
Right here.
Sending out
how do you-
signals.
Wait, how do you do that? What the heck?
On the
You
left-hand
click and
side.
hold.
Yep. You need to make sure you're on the
So
little arrow.
I'm guessing more of waiting over near there, because the
Like-
dragon is also kind of blocking a lot of you out of view.
Yeah, like it's so near the edge of the stage, so that if something happens, they can bolt.
Well, yeah, you can also bolt this way. Okay. Yeah. So the guy kind of like stares and he's like, I bet you're all wondering who the fuck I am. Who the fuck all of you are, and concerns of the rest of the group, and why the fuck, you've seen me twice now? And he like lets out a little laugh as if he's like thinking of a little joke to himself. He's like, I don't like fate. I really don't. Fate God's a bit of a bitch. Regardless, I have a job to do. And he like rolls his eyes a bit. He honestly looks like he's the same age as the king, and he acts like it too. He's like, yada yada yada, prophecies, yada yada yada. There's a reason you're all here. Hoping that the bitch didn't do that. But now, woo, he like does little jazz hands. You guys, for some reason have skills that we need. And he like motions to the king and the dragon. It's like, oh, I should probably introduce myself actually. Hi, I'm Nim. I'm not gonna tell you who I worship, and you're not gonna be able to guess. Absolutely not. I can just, I just do spooky prophecy shit sometimes. It's not that cool. But yeah, you'll sell what happened. Um, kind of got a little bad juju from a little lady that guy somehow knows. And he like points to Kin. And he's like, and he like turns and he like looks at Nurum and it's like, you might know her. Not her necessarily, but know about her. We'll get to that later. But regardless, yeah. So you all probably feel pretty safe in how your life is going right now, right? Right? I'm assuming Sony like pauses waiting for you guys to like respond and stuff. Just like staring expectantly.
Not even a little
Actually,
bit.
My point in life is quite tumultuous at the moment. I have been looking for a calling that I was afraid I would never find.
Who are you?
Nuram's head is going to whip towards you, turning a,
What's your name?
it turns a little farther than you really think should be possible. Before I say, I am Nuram Tabravis. I am a Zerth of the Zerth. Sorry. This stuttering is Justin, not Nuram. I am Nuram Tabravis, Zerth of the cult of Zertheman. I am pleased to make your acquaintance.
I meant the other guy.
I already told you who I was. I said I'm Nim.
Right, but
N-Y-M.
like, who are you?
I'll explain it in a bit. After I like 1 second.
This
Right.
seems like a
What?
bit of an audience to be having for this particular conversation.
Yes, indeed.
Oh no, it concerns him. Don't worry. Concerns the dragon too. I'll tell you his name later. And like the dragon like huffs a bit.
What is the
And he, like,
security detail at this castle?
That's none of your business. I'm kidding.
and he like looks like to the rest. He's like, rest of you feel comfy, right?
Never.
No.
Totally.
Generally, no.
He looks to Iris. And you?
I'm treated quite well, if that's what you're asking.
He like squints his eyes a bit. And he's like, all right. I mean, the thief certainly makes her rounds, doesn't she? He like looks to Owen.
Owen just kind of looks around all of them and then shrugs. Comfort is complacency.
Hi
Damn.
there. What was your name? Hello?
And he just like stares. He's like, damn, that's edgy. Anyways,
Wait, hold on, kid. I'm trying to make an introduction. What's your name?
was he
Owen
saying that?
Talking to Owen.
Owen just kind of side glances and looks this strange winged creature up and down, and then doesn't respond and like turns back to Nim.
Yeah, the wings are pretty off-putting, aren't they? He just like, anyways, so one of you know a lot of the information I'm about to tell you. One of you might not. So we believe that creatures have found a crack in our plane of existence. What that spells for all of us is utter decimation, unreliable people, well, more than usual, and kind of the complete annihilation from all mortal races, that kind of jazz. Oh shit, what did I do? There we go. Yada yada yada. World annihilation event type shit. I guess I don't know how prophecies are supposed to go. Save the world type of shit. I guess. Anyways, the information you guys need. So that bitch, her name's Crow. She's a nightmare to work with. Cause how she works is she puts her mark on people, and let me think. Have any of you ever been charmed per se, or like manipulated mentally somehow? I don't know. You guys are like older than me, I guess, or supposed to
There's
be.
a Kim.
You guys just basically what these creatures do is they like latch onto you, feed you your desires, tell you they can make it possible, all that fun jazz. The one expense is typically you have to commit absolute atrocities, which I figure if you actually won't mind that type of shit. Looks to Owen a bit. Yeah, so a creature like that, they're sometimes called like spiders or some shit. Spider people, forearms, eyes.
At
Not
that
like
description, Nuram is going to like his eyes are going to open and he's going to like slowly reach for the knife on his side. Like looking this guy directly in the eyes, not like hiding the fact he's reaching for the knife, but like,
wait, stop. No.
why do you speak of them? Do you work with those beasts?
As I'm explaining, one just marked the king. That's what
Nur,
I'm trying to explain to you, first off.
Honestly, you're
Second
not
off,
doing very well. You just keep going blah 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 and skipping over stuff. Like if
okay,
you want to actually
basically.
explain it to us, you should explain it to us.
Okay, basically. So, prophecy, vision, I was told that I had to find these certain people to basically, save the king before he, kind of destroyed the kingdom, okay? Not a great impression for his first day, instantly gets cursed by a god of chaos, which that one over there reaching for his knife knows. Creatures like to feed on people, feed on the chaos they create. Which, albeit doesn't sound too bad until they get really, really pushy and suddenly we're at war with the other countries. That doesn't sound fun for any of you, especially little miss over here who's not in a military house. Or, you fight, actually, right?
I can take care of myself plenty, thank you.
Okay, whatever. Yeah, basically, prophecy said, you guys get to help. And he, looks to the king, and the king's he's, flabbergasted. And he's like, I thought I talked a lot. He, looks to Dragon, he's like, do I sound like that? When I talk a lot?
Yes.
Owen literally can't help the laugh that comes out, and they immediately cover their mouth.
Turns bright. The king just turns bright fucking red at that, and he's like, "Oh,
With all due respect, your sire, yes.
okay, this
It's
guy.
alright. A lot of people talk when they're nervous.
This guy is really bad at explaining shit. Basically, last night, at sunset, one of our seers in the palace received a vision from their god, which is the god of fate. And it gave us vague descriptions of future heroes of the kingdom who are going to help with something that's going to happen very soon. I didn't think it would be this soon, in all honesty. I didn't think it would be so soon that it happens literally right after I become king. That's terrifying. Basically, there's a chance that our plane and another plane are colliding and meshing into each other, and it spelling a lot of trouble. And we I honestly don't know how any of this works, in all honesty. I think a lot of it's also just, I'm really nervous right now. I'm very sorry. Basically, stuff's gonna start going down, and we need to figure out how to stop it, I guess. And it was like told to like find you guys. He like was like, "Oh, I'll give them prophetic dreams because that's cool apparently." And yeah. That's kind of how you all got dragged here. I mean, if it does end up going to like, hey, we will go and do this, you will be rewarded quite handsomely. I have a lot of stuff I can give away, in all honesty, that I honestly see absolutely no worth in. And he like leans in to whisper that a bit. I mean, we got lots of gold. I think he like looks to Nim, and Nim's like, okay, let's not jump the gun. We're not gonna send them out to fight, huge chaos beings all at once. We actually just need you guys to kind of retrieve something for us so we can do it. You guys don't have to like stop the colliding yourself, but we need an item that we can't get to. We think you guys might be able to get to. If you're interested in money or fame or a house deep in the woods alone. And he like gives a thumbs up. These are two kids who are like 16. So they're not the greatest at this.
Well, that sounds quite like an adventure. I'd love to join.
Yeah, what?
Will food be provided?
Baby.
I mean, I guess. I mean, we can fully get you set up with like travel pack, and we can send messengers to any towns that would be on your way in case you need like refills and stuff
Will
like
there
that.
be a lot of conflict involved?
We don't know. It's a bit of a far travel, I guess. It's what we're looking for is in the Alib Forest, which, if you don't know, is a big forest. And it's just something we can't get to. He being freshly crowned king. It's hard for us to get there. We don't expect there to be a lot of combat.
I'm not good
I
with
guess.
combat.
Noted. I can't promise anything. That'd kind of be dependent on how the rest of you guys react to finding any bit of conflict.
I'm good with it.
Yeah.
As I
Conflict
said,
is
I
a
can handle
waste of our
myself. I'm
time.
sure I can help out. You can hang out in the back. You don't have to do some of the fighting if you don't want to.
Okay.
It is not of desire not to fight. It is of the time it takes. If the Atai are
Exactly.
coming, we must move.
That's edgy. Anyways.
Anyways.
So
Moving
over
on.
as
Oh my
well,
God.
he said that's edgy. Anyways, and he said it a second time. Here's a new bingo entry. That's edgy. Anyways. The king kind of like looks expectantly to Kin, and he's like, I don't know your ties with the two of those people. Kind of up to you. He like kind of shrugs a bit. I'm not good at this. I'm not gonna lie.
Kin's only half listening. He's kind of gone tunnel vision, looking towards Crow and Milo, if they're even there.
Oh, they're still there. They're watching intently. I'm watching you intently.
Is the whole town watching this interaction?
No, for the most part, most people have left to go do their partyings and stuff.
Okay.
It's like
Oh,
very
okay.
sparsely crowded now. Crow
Yeah,
and
I'm
Milo
just here.
are staring you down, Kin.
Hey, Ken, you need help with those crows?
I'm not really sure why this would fall to me, but before I agree to anything, what do they have to do with this? And he's kind of nodding towards the other two.
Nim kind of like glances like around the dragon at the two, and he's like, So Crow worships the god of chaos. It's a cult. So she's in a cult. And Milo is also part of that said cult. So they're like, the coming of our god type of deal. Yeah. They're just part of the religion, I guess.
So attacking them now
Would spell a lot of trouble.
Mm.
Especially given you're connected to them.
I have a
A
lot of
very deep
questions.
connection.
I guess I'm a bit curious about all this, so I got nothing better to do.
What a wonderful way to get into adventuring, being forced to. He like looks to Owen and he's like, "You want money? Shiny thing?"
Owen smirks and like brings a hand up to their necklace and like kind of touches at the pendant gently. If coin is involved, Prayer and I are in.
Cool. Anyways, so he like looks over and he's like counting heads, making sure he got everyone. Okay. He like looks to Dragon a bit and he's like, "You agreed really quickly. Are you that tired of the king already?" And the king is just like, he like looks over with a face of utter shock. Like, you did not just say that. Yeah. And Nim's just like, I'd be tired of you in like 2 hours, let's be honest.
Oh my god.
This poor kid went from rags to riches immediately and is getting shit upon by every person.
I know, jeez.
Jesus Christ.
He
Adults
didn't
are
deserve
brutal.
this life.
Let him be.
Anyways, uh, I'll leave you with the king. He can figure out all the quest tales. Sounds like some fucking fairy tale shit. And he like starts walking off stage, just muttering to himself about how boring this all is. And the king's just like, if you need a place to stay, I can house you, and like we have a few, I guess they're nicer. I don't know how to explain them. They're like nicer barracks. On and we can get you set up with the travel stuff, as well as giving you the stuff for where you'll be headed.
This is a dungeon.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Generally to you as the DM.
Yeah.
So no one knows who Ace is, right? Besides the king.
No.
Okay.
Not yet.
It's a bit like that for quite a few of you. I think the only ones who know each other is Kin knows Drax because they worked together. He knows Iris because Iris is noble And Iris knows Drax because they're both nobles.
Yep.
Like, the only ones who know each other.
It's a canon.
Huh?
Oh, nothing. Sorry.
But, he, like, hops his hands and he, like, enjoy the ceremony. I'm going to go back to the palace and sleep off this stupor that I've worked myself into for, like, the next 3 days, probably. Well, actually, I have to talk to you guys tomorrow. So, I will see you guys tomorrow, probably around breakfast time. You guys will be, if you show up at the palace and say the king has sent you, or sent for you, they will escort you to the barrack. And you will be provided breakfast tomorrow morning, as a bit of a thank you for accepting this. And I thank you again. This is nerve-wracking. I'm not good with crowds, people, like I said. And he, like, looks at Iris and he's just like, yeah,
You're doing great. Go get some rest.
yeah, enjoy the ceremony, or what's left of it, partying of families and all that fun stuff. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. And he, like, finger guns and kind of
Medieval
backs up.
finger guns.
Medieval finger guns. And that is kind of where we'll come to our close for the day in our first session. You all have seen the ceremony where the king supposedly gets a little curse. And
Just a little bit.
Just
Just a little
bit.
thing. Just a
Maybe
little
a
bit.
Tiny,
It's just a
little
tiny
curse.
bit.
A
And
little bit. Baby curse.
the person
It's
you
baby
saw
curse.
in your dreams drags
Baby
you all up to give you a little dungeoneer quest.
Baby
Yep.
curse. Do
Do-do-do-do, baby curse. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Baby curse.
I am blocking all of you.
What did I do? Leave me out of it.
Lol.
Alrighty. That is where we will come to our close. So I'm going to real
I'm gonna
quick.
deafen and say bye to everyone.
Same.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us on our first adventure. I hope you had fun. I hope everybody had a good time watching. We will be back next Saturday with episode 2. Let me see. Hang on. There we go. Baby curse do 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 baby curse do 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 baby curse do 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 baby curse. Oh my god, Blades. But yes, I potentially will be back tomorrow. This wasn't as draining as I thought, so if I decide to, I will stream tomorrow. Other than that, we will be back to our normal schedule next week, which is like Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday for the D&D campaign, okay? Okay, we're gonna raid a new friend. I actually found somebody else that's streaming in Dungeons and Dragons, and it's also their first, like, episode 1, essentially, of their campaign. So we're gonna go hang out there. These are my socials. Make sure you guys follow them all. Like, all of my socials are there. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Threads now as well. And I'm working on new YouTube and TikTok content and stuff like that. So hopefully I can have that out to you guys soon. And then this is our raid message. Top one's for subscribers. Bottom one is for everybody else. I love you, Beans. And moi. And I will see you soon. Goodbye.